What you just witnessed in San Diego on June 21, 2026 was not supposed to happen. Not like this. Not this fast. Not by him. The NASCAR Cup Series rolled into Naval Base Coronado, a United States, for the inaugural Enduro 250. It was a first for this sport on so many levels. First street course race in San Diego. First major NASCAR event ever held on an active military installation. A 16-turn, 3.4-mile circuit on Coronado Island, just south of downtown San Diego, with the USS Carl Vinson sitting in the background as race cars flew past at over 130 miles per hour. The stage was set for something special. But nobody, and I mean nobody, predicted the name that would end up in victory lane. Corey Heim. Number 67. 2311 Racing. 23 years old. His 13th career Cup Series start. Welcome to NASCAR Report today. You are in the right place. We cover NASCAR the way it deserves to be covered, deep, detailed, and with the kind of passion that you can only get from people who genuinely love this sport. Before we go any further, if you are watching this right now and you have not yet subscribed to NASCAR Report today, I want to take just 10 seconds to ask you something. We are a growing channel. And the only reason we keep growing is because of viewers like you, people who care about this sport, who want real analysis, not just headlines. If that sounds like you, hit that subscribe button right now. Hit the bell too, so you never miss a video. It costs you nothing, and it means everything to us. Now, let's get into what happened in San Diego. To understand why this race felt different from the moment the gates opened, you have to understand where it was taking place. Naval Base Coronado is not a racetrack. It is a working United States Navy installation, home to Navy SEALs, active aircraft carriers, and some of the most elite military personnel in the country. And for one weekend in June 2026, NASCAR took over its streets. The Qualcomm circuit, as it was called, wound through the base in a way that was equal parts beautiful and brutal. 16 turns. 3.4 miles per lap. Tight walls, no runoff, and absolutely zero margin for error. The weekend itself had enormous buzz going into it. Two names were on everyone's lips as the favorites: Shane Van Gisbergen, the road course master who won the very first Chicago street race back in 2023, and Connor Zilisch, the young superstar who had been absolutely electric all season. Both were considered near-locks to be the class of the field on this kind of circuit. And there was also the subplot that NASCAR fans had been following all week. Christopher Bell, who had been racing with a fractured wrist, could not finish the race himself. His teammate Brent Cruz was standing by to potentially take over the number 20 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota if Bell's condition worsened. The storylines were stacked. The atmosphere was electric. The stage was set. And then the race happened, and almost nothing went according to plan. Lap 1. Green flag drops. And within moments, this race is already letting you know it will not be a quiet Sunday afternoon. Shane Van Gisbergen, the pole sitter, immediately begins showing why he was considered the favorite. His Trackhouse Racing Chevrolet is genuinely fast on this circuit. The kind of fast that makes you think, yes, this man is going to run away with this thing. Ryan Blaney claims the Stage 1 victory, but not without drama. A caution flies during the closing laps of Stage 1 when Bubba Wallace loses a right front while following a pit stop. An early reminder that on a street course this unforgiving, nothing is ever safe. But the moment that changed everything, the moment this race shifted from competitive to chaotic, came on lap 32. A restart. Turn 1. Contact. Austin Hill slides up into Connor Zilisch. Zilisch hits the outside wall hard. Van Gisbergen, right on their bumper, has absolutely nowhere to go. He is collected in the crash. Both favorites, the two men most expected to dominate this race, are gone. Done. Van Gisbergen finishes 38th. Zilisch is out of the race. Just like that. Van Gisbergen spoke about it after the race. He said the car was unreal fast once the track rubbered up. A real shame, he called it. And he was right. We may never know how dominant he could have been on this circuit, because he never got the chance. Meanwhile, Brent Cruz, standing in for Christopher Bell, is having his own nightmare. A mechanical issue late in Stage 2 sends the number 20 JGR Toyota to the garage. Another contender eliminated. The race is wide open. And a young man from Marietta, Georgia is starting to figure something out. Let me tell you who Corey Heim is, because if you are new to this channel or new to NASCAR, you need to understand what makes this win so unbelievable. Corey Heim was born on July 5, 2002. He is from Marietta, Georgia. He started racing quarter midgets as a child. He won Legends Car Championships at Atlanta Motor Speedway at the age of 14 and 15. He climbed through ARCA. He moved to the Truck Series. And from the moment he got there, he was different. In 2022, his first partial truck season, he won 2 races and earned Rookie of the Year. In 2023, he won the regular season championship. In 2024, he won 6 races. And in 2025, his final full-time Truck Series season, he had one of the most dominant campaigns in the history of that series. 12 wins in a single season. A record. He led 1,627 laps, also a record. He led at least 1 lap in every single race. His average finish through the 7 playoff races was 1.4. 1.4, that is not a typo. He won the 2025 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship. And in 2026, 23XI Racing, the team co-owned by NBA legend Michael Jordan and NASCAR icon Denny Hamlin, gave him a partial cup schedule. 13 races as a development driver. The plan was for him to go full-time in 2027. But on Sunday in San Diego, Corey Heim refused to wait. He started 13th. Early in the race, he fell all the way back to 20th. His car was struggling. His tires were worn. His crew chief, Booty Barker, kept telling him over the radio, "These are our worst 2 sets of tires. We're going to be fine." Heim said after the race, "I didn't know if I believed him. But I trusted him." Then they put on a fresh set of tires. And something changed. With 11 laps to go, Corey Heim makes contact with Carson Hocevar. Hocevar spins from second place, and suddenly Heim is running second, right behind Tyler Reddick. And Tyler Reddick is no ordinary driver. Reddick is the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series points leader. He is one of the best road course drivers in the sport. He had dominated multiple stretches of this race. He started from the rear because of an unapproved adjustment to his number 45 Toyota, and he still clawed his way to the front. Heim is behind him, chasing, watching, waiting. He said later, "I felt like he was just toying with me, conserving his tires. I fully expected him to hit the go button and just pull away from me." But Reddick never pulled away. 5 laps to go. Heim starts applying pressure. He can feel Reddick's tires starting to fade. He pushes harder. And then, with 3 laps remaining, on lap 73, Reddick slips in turn 2. Just a fraction of a moment. A tiny mistake. But Corey Heim does not need more than a fraction. He fires the number 67 Toyota to the inside of Reddick entering the final turn of the course. They run side by side through turns 3 and 4. Reddick tries a crossover move into turn 5, he even makes slight contact with Heim, pushing him briefly toward the wall. But Heim holds on. He leads. 3 laps to go. 2 laps. 1 lap. And then, Tyler Reddick's left front tire goes flat. He drops back through the field. He finishes 25th. A race that was almost his, a championship critical points day he desperately needed, is gone in an instant. Corey Heim crosses the finish line. And NASCAR has a new winner. Heim's first words in victory lane, "I'm speechless. Maybe I knocked some good into the car when I hit the wall. I have no idea. I just took a deep breath, reset, and went after it." Let's talk about what this win means, not just for Corey Heim personally, but for the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series season as a whole. First, Heim. He becomes only the 3rd first-time winner in Cup in 2026, joining Ty Gibbs at Bristol and Carson Hocevar at Talladega. He wins in just his 13th Cup start. And he wins on a street course, a completely new circuit where nobody had more experience than anybody else. On that level playing field, he was the best. 2-time Cup champion Kyle Larson, who finished 3rd, said immediately after, "Awesome job by Corey Heim." Coming from Larson, that is not a small compliment. That is a recognition of real talent. Denny Hamlin, one of the co-owners of 23XI Racing, was asked after the race which he was happier about, cutting the points gap or his young driver winning. Hamlin did not even hesitate. He said, "The driver part." He then added that Dave Rogers and the entire 23XI operation had given Heim an agenda for the race weekend, specific things to work on, specific expectations to meet. "I don't think this was in the agenda for San Diego," Hamlin said, laughing. "He's going to be a problem." For the wider championship picture, this race was enormously significant. Tyler Reddick entered San Diego with a 129-point lead over Denny Hamlin just 5 races ago. That lead is now down to 8 points. 8. In a 5-race stretch. As the NASCAR Cup Series regular season enters its final 9 races, that gap means every single lap, every single position, every single point matters. Reddick knows it. "We'll try and scrape together and have a decent finish in Sonoma," he said, voice heavy with frustration. The championship is alive. And it could not be closer. Here is something worth sitting with for a moment. The inaugural Chicago street race in 2023 produced a first-time winner, Shane Van Gisbergen, who won on his very first Cup Series start. The crowd went insane. It became one of the most talked about moments of that entire season. Now, 3 years later, the inaugural San Diego street race has done it again. A brand new venue. A brand new winner. A moment that will be in the history books forever. When future generations of NASCAR fans look back at the first Cup Series race ever held on the streets of San Diego on an active United States naval base, they will see one name at the top of the results: Corey Heim. This win also marked the fourth consecutive Cup Series victory for Toyota, the first time Toyota had won 4 straight Cup races since 2017. It was their 11th total win of the 2026 season. And it was the first time the number 67 car had ever reached victory lane in the 78-year history of the NASCAR Cup Series. 2311 Racing, for their part, had their first ever 1-2 finish, with Bubba Wallace crossing the line in second place. All 4 2311 cars were inside the top 6 with just a few laps remaining before strategy and tire issues shuffled the order. Michael Jordan's team, once criticized for being a new organization still finding its footing, is now one of the most powerful forces in the sport. And on Sunday, their youngest, least experienced driver reminded everyone exactly why they believed in him. The NASCAR Cup Series now heads north from San Diego to Sonoma Raceway for the Toyota Save Mart 250 on Sunday, June 28. The green flag drops at 3:30 p.m. Sonoma is another road course, a real road course, long and flowing and technical. And with the championship points this tight, Sunday's race in wine country could be one of the most consequential of the entire 2026 regular season. The questions heading into Sonoma are real. Can Tyler Reddick bounce back? His season has seen a lead of 129 points vanish in 5 races. The pressure is now enormous. Can Denny Hamlin finally take the points lead? He has been building momentum for weeks. And what about Corey Heim? He has now proven he can win on a street circuit. A traditional road course at Sonoma is a different challenge, but for a 23-year-old who just shocked the entire NASCAR world, nothing feels impossible right now. Corey Heim is 23 years old. He has a Truck Series championship. He has a record 12 wins in a single Truck Series season. He has 25 career Truck Series victories. And now he has a NASCAR Cup Series win. In just his 13th start. On an active United States naval base. In a race he wasn't even supposed to be a factor in. This sport never stops reminding you why you fell in love with it in the first place. Just when you think you know who's going to win and NASCAR goes ahead and writes a completely different story. That is why we do this. That is why we cover this sport every single week. If you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe to NASCAR Report today if you have not already. Every subscriber genuinely helps us grow, and we want to keep bringing you this kind of deep, detailed NASCAR coverage for a long time to come. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and we will see you at Sonoma.